So you might have bought yourself a Google or Android TV box recently, and this video is going to show you the best way to set it up to make sure that you get the best out of it. Now, I have done videos like this in the past, but obviously this is an ever-changing world and things have been updated since I last done this video on the Google and Android TV devices. So that's the reason why I'm doing this video again. So what we need to do is, first of all, go across to the settings, and we go across to this quick settings, middle button on the remote control, and then middle button again to go into all settings. Go into display and sound, and here, if we want our Google TV box to integrate more with the TV, i.e. to turn on and off with the TV to switch to the correct HDMI channel, then you need to ensure that HDMI CEC is switched on. Next, go down to Match Content Dynamic Range. Now, when you enable this, it will switch between different dynamic range formats to match whatever you're playing. But it may cause a large hang and a black screen between format changing, i.e. when you go into videos. So for most people, they leave that switched off. But you can give it a try. If it becomes too much of a drag, too slow, too annoying, then turn it back off. You've also got match content frame rate. Now, again, you'd always think that having it on always is a good thing or seamless only, but again, it can cause major pauses when going into certain content. If you watch TV on it, then it can, as you change channels, it can cause a massive sort of delay, a black screen for quite a while. So I've just always set this to never. Resolution, go into that, and what I would say is make sure that it's set to automatic. Now, I've got mine set to 720. That's because I've got this test unit hooked up to an old 720 monitor, so I can't get any better out of this. But if you go up to resolution and go to automatic, that will hopefully set your device to output to the maximum and the best resolution for the TV that it's connected up to. Go down to advanced display settings, go into preferred dynamic range and make sure that it's set to system preferred conversion. Allow game mode, well, it's up to you. If you don't play any games, you can turn that off if you want to. Format selection, make sure again that's set to automatic. But if you do have any problems with the picture, then you can always go into manual mode there and manually select any supported formats until the picture looks good. Go down to system sounds. This is that noise the remote control makes, or that comes out of the TV every time you touch a button on the remote control. If that annoys you, turn that off. And on some devices, like my ONN device or my Thomson device, it's got speaker device volume. This is, funnily enough, this is on a Thomson device, but it refers to ONN. So you can change the speaker volume. You can make it mute it, low, medium, or high. I've just left that as a default. Now, advanced sound settings. If you do have any problems with the sound, like popping, crackling, it dipping out from time to time, then normally this is set to automatic. But what I would say is, first of all, if you are having any problems with the sound, anything at all, just select never use surround sound and see if the problem clears up. If the problem clears up, then there is a problem here with the settings. Come back to here, go into manual selective and just try toggling each of these on and off and see whether or not it fixes the problem. But if you don't use surround sound, if you just got a normal TV without surround sound, then just keep it set to never use surround sound. Seems to work the best for me. Go down to accounts and profiles, go across to your name, and then go across again, and then go down to your services. Then go into that and turn off all of these if you don't use them. Go down the list and just have a look. If there's any that you do subscribe to, then you can leave them on or you can turn them off. This basically stops recommendations from coming up on your home screen. Press the back button, then go down to autoplay video. Now with this switched on, it means that it's going to automatically play video trailers and previews on your home screen. So I turn that off. Go down to voice control and then across. Now, if you don't want to use voice control on your device, then you can turn that off. But if you do want to control it with your voice, but you just want to set certain apps to be able to control it, then you can go to searchable apps, go across, and any apps you don't want to have access to your voice, then you can turn the switch off beside them. So say for instance, I didn't want ITVX to have access to my voice. I could turn that off, and that means that it's got no access to my voice, so I can't control it or search for things with my voice with that switched off. If you don't want all this wonderful advertising of TV shows, etc. on your home screen, then you can go down to apps only mode, turn that on. Now that does unfortunately turn off a few other things on here if you haven't got this switched on, like it will hide Google recommendations from your home screen, along with your ability to give feedback on movies or shows, add them to your watch list. Previously purchased titles from Google Play will not be accessible, but can be cast from your phone from the Google TV or YouTube mobile app. You can access all the apps installed on this device, and non-personalized featured content will still be shown on your home screen, but search and voice will be disabled in this mode. Apps can continue to show personalised recommendations and track watch history, including YouTube, YouTube TV and other Google apps. So let's just show you what happens if I turn it on. Let's go back to the home screen. As you'll see now, there you go. It's become a lot less cluttered. Okay, we've still got the adverts for the TV shows at the top there, but if we push the down button, as you can see, we've just got the apps, making a much cleaner, leaner home screen. Next thing we need to do is go into privacy and then across. And here we've got scanning always available. Now this is an Android setting that allows system apps and location services to detect nearby Wi-Fi networks or Bluetooth devices even when Wi-Fi or Bluetooth is turned off. It runs in the background to improve location accuracy for apps like Maps, but it consumes batteries and acts as a tracking tool. So I would say turn this off. There's no reason to have this switched on location whilst you're running it on an Android TV device. Then go down to usage and diagnostics, and if you don't want Google sending diagnostic information to itself about apps and app usage, etc., then turn that off. And if you don't want Google sending diagnostic data and app usage data back to themselves, then turn that off. Now, if you're planning to use third-party streaming apps that you think could get removed, then go down to apps and then go across and down to security and turn both of these off. Scan apps with Play Protect and improve harmful app detection. Now, I should say, if you do turn these off, it is like turning the antivirus off on your computer, and it could open up your device to malware and viruses, etc. So please, if you do sideload apps onto your device, make sure that you scan them with a third-party antivirus tool or a website like VirusTotal before putting them on your device. With these switched off, hopefully it should stop Google from removing or blocking you from sideloading apps. Now, if you've come over from the Firestick, then you might be thinking, how do I turn developer options on? Well, you don't need to do that here to download apps, but if you want to, you can go into System, go across and down to About, and then go into that and go right the way down to Android TV OS Build and tap the middle button on the remote control. Keep tapping it until it says you are now a developer. And there you go, developer options are now enabled, and you can go back and then go down, and then you should see there developer options. But as I say, you don't need developer options enabled to be able to sideload apps. There are some great little functions in here, but please be careful because these could muck up things on your device. So only touch these if you know what you're doing. Perhaps I'll do another video on that at some point in the future. But if you did want to sideload apps, then all we need to do is we just go into apps up the top there, then go down to search for apps and games and search for downloader. So as I start typing it, it should come up as a suggestion, but if it doesn't, keep typing it and then go to the magnifying glass middle button, and there you go. It's downloaded by AFTV News, that one on the left there with that exact logo. Don't be fooled into downloading any of these other third-party downloaders. That is the real deal. That is the genuine one, that icon there on the left. Once you get to this screen here, middle button, and then let that download and install. Once you see open, middle button on the remote control. Okay to get rid of those tips there, the quick start guide. Go up, middle button, get the keyboard up, go down to the bottom, the 1, 2, 3 question mark to get the numbers up, and type in there 21203. That's 21203. Then go down to the little tick and then down to highlight go, middle button. Choose your cookie notice settings wisely. I'm going to accept those. And if you get a second lot of cookie settings, then choose those as well. I'm just going to consent to that. And then there's loads of great stuff in here. There's loads of great stuff further down. I'm going to download TV Bro here. So highlight that, middle button, and that will download. And I'm going to show you, once this is downloaded, how you can enable apps from unknown sources, just like you could on the Firestick. So you see this staging app, and there you go. It says, for your security, your TV currently isn't allowed to install unknown apps from this source. You can change this in settings. So settings is highlighted, so middle button on the remote control. Go down and find downloader. There it is. And just turn that on and then go to install or update, middle button. And there you go. That is just like turning on apps from unknown sources. And you might get this warning here about turn on Play Protect. Google Play Protect regularly checks your apps and devices for harmful behavior. You will be notified of any security risks found. So I'm going to decline that because, as I say, if you're going to be using any dubious third-party streaming apps that you think might be removed by Google, then you don't want to be turning this on because that will remove them. But as I say, please be mindful that this is your antivirus, so make sure any apps you download come from a trusted source, or if they don't, make sure that you scan them using another app, something like virustotal.com. And there you go, the app is now installed. So just go across to done, go to delete, middle button, go to the second delete, middle button. Whilst you're here, scroll down, have a look through my site, and then once you've finished, if there's nothing else you want to download, go to home, middle button, and then back button twice. And then press the home button on your remote control to take you back to the main screen. Keep pushing it until you get back to the main home screen. So there you go. That is my advice on what you need to do if you've just got yourself an Android or a Google TV device and not really sure where to start.